Lesson 4.10, making connections between English and algebra. So, translating word problems. It can be easier than it seems, but if you understand words that mean operations. There are 4 major operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And there are certain words that mean each of these. So for example, for addition, we have the following words: sum, plus, add, and, total of or total, increased by, more than, raise, combined, altogether, additional, together, both, added to, in all, and another. These can all mean addition. For subtraction, we have less or less than, minus, decreased by or decreased by, more than. That can be a little bit confusing because more than can also mean addition. Sometimes you want to add and sometimes you want to subtract. You'll need to look in context. You have difference, reduce, lost, left, remain, fell, dropped, change, nearer and farther, how much more or less, diminished, subtract from, fewer than, words ending in er, take away, and only. You have multiplication words: of, times, multiplied by, product of, increased by. That can also mean addition, so again, you're going to have to take those in context. You have factor of, every, at this rate, in all, total, each, double, triple, quadruple, etc., which means multiply by 2, 3, 4, etc. Per, as much, and by. Of being one of the most common that you'll want to learn. You have words that mean division: divided, quotient, split, each, cut, average, every, out of, ratio, shared, how many times, per, part, percent is to divide by 100. And then you have words that mean equality. We have words that mean equals: is, are, was, were, will be, yields, gives. We have words that mean greater than or equal to. The first two are greater than. The second two are greater than or equal to. We have is greater than, is more than, is greater than or equal to, or at least. And then you have words that mean less than or equal to. We have is less than, is fewer than, is less than or equal to, and at most. So you may want to take the time to write this list down because it can help you when you're translating. So in order to translate words into math, we want to read the sentence carefully. So for example, if I have 2 more than triple a number is 14, find the number. Now, 2 more than, well, I know the word 2 is the number 2. More than, add, triple a number. Whenever I see the phrase a number, I'm going to throw in a variable. This means a variable. Triple is 3 times that number. Is means equals, and then I have 14. So then I'm going to put that together a little nicer. So 3x plus 2 equals 14. Subtract 2 from both sides, I get 3x equals 12. Divide by 3, and x is 4. Oh, I ran out of space. Hold on one second. Okay, there, that's better. 2 more than 2/5 of a number. Okay, 2 more, again, we're adding. 2/5 is a fraction. Of means multiply. A number is a variable, equals 6. So again, I'm going to rearrange that so that it makes more sense. So I'm going to do 2/5 x plus 2 equals 6. Subtracting 2, I get 2/5 x equals 4. Now, there are 2 ways to solve this. You could solve it in 1 step or in 2. I'm going to go ahead and solve it in 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 so that these 5's cancel, and I get 2x equals 20. And then dividing by 2, I'll get that x equals 10. 9 less than 1/6 of a number is 2. Now, 9 less than, before we were saying 2 more, so we could say 2 plus. But when you say less than, 9 less than, if I have $10 and you have 5 less than me, I don't do 5 minus 10. I do 10 minus 5. So whenever you see this phrase here, that's minus the number in front. It kind of goes backwards. I have 1/6 of a number is 2. So 1/6 x minus 9 equals 2. Add 9 to both sides, and I get 1/6 x equals 11. Multiply both sides by 6, and I get that x is equal to 66. 4 less than 5 times a number divided by 3 is 11. Okay, now 4 less than 5 times a number divided by 3 is 11. There are two ways that you could look at this. Okay, I'm going to come up here. We could do 5 times a number minus 4 divided by 3 equals 11. That's 4 less than 5 times the number divided by 3. Or you could think of it as 5 times the number divided by 3 minus 4 equals 11. And now that makes a very big difference which one to use, because these are not going to result in the same answer. If you wanted to use this one, it would be worded a little differently. They would word it as maybe the quantity 5 times the number minus 4 divided by 3, or the quotient of, it would be worded differently. We're going to look at it as this way because of the way it's worded. It's 4 less than 5 times a number, 5 times a number divided by 3. So we have 4 less than 5 times a number divided by 3 is equal to 11. So 5x over 3 minus 4 is equal to 11. Add 4 to both sides, and you get 5x over 3 is equal to 15. Multiply both sides by 3. These 3's will cancel, and you get 5x is equal to 45. Dividing by 5, you'll get that x is equal to 9. Okay, now we're going to have some actual kind of word problems. On Monday, 295 students went on a trip to see the zoo. 6 buses were filled and 7 students had to travel in cars. How many students were in each bus? Okay, so we have 6 buses plus 7 extra students equals 295 students altogether. Well, 6 buses contain students. I'm going to call that 6B. Plus 7 is equal to 295. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So I'm going to get 288. Divide both sides by 6. And I'm going to get that B is equal to 48 students. So there were 48 students on each bus. We have Oceanside Bike Rental. Sharp charges $15 plus $8 an hour for renting a bike. Mike paid $79. How many hours? Well, we have $15 plus $8 an hour, and he paid $79. We subtract 15 from both sides. That's the flat fee. So 79 minus 15 is 64. Dividing by 8, you'll get that it was 8 hours that he rented the bike for. Okay, now we have a problem. The length of a rectangle is 5 more than 3 times the width. Okay, this is 5 more than 3 times the width. So let's label an actual rectangle. I know people don't like to do extra, don't want to draw a picture and label it, but really, if you draw a picture and label it, it makes everything much more clear. The width is W, the length is 5 more than that, 3 times that. Now the perimeter is 74. How do we find perimeter? We add up all the sides. So this will also be W, and this will also be 5 plus 3W. So I'll have W and another W, and a 5 plus 3W, and another 5 plus 3W. That's all 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drawing the picture helped me not to miss out on any of the parts of this. So I have 1, 2, 5, 8 W's, plus 10 is equal to 74. Subtract 10, I get 8W is equal to 64. So W is equal to 8. We found the width, but we also want to find the length. So to find the length, I'm going to plug in the width, and I'm going to get that the length is 29. Okay, we have some consecutive number problems. Now, consecutive numbers are numbers that go in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. If I say the first number is x, to get from a 1 to a 2, I add 1 to it. And then to go from a 2 to a 3, I add 1. To go from a 3 to a 4, I add 1. So if I start with x, the next number will be x plus 1. If I add 1 to that, I get x plus 2. If I add 1 to that, I get x plus 3, etc. So when I talk about 3 consecutive numbers, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3 numbers. So x plus 1 plus x plus 2. This is the first number, this is the second, this is the third. The sum is 108. I add my x's together, I get 3x plus 3 is equal to 108. Subtract 3 from both sides, I get 3x is equal to 105. Divide by 3, and I get x is equal to 35. That's the smallest of the 3 numbers. Now to check. Consecutive means they'll go in order. 35, 36, 37. If I add these together, I should get 108. So 35 plus 36 plus 37. When I do add those together, I get 108. So it worked. Now, consecutive even numbers. We're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. If I say the first one is x, to go from a 1 to a 2, I added 1, but to go from a 2 to a 4, I add 2. To go from a 4 to a 6, I add 2 more. So 2 plus 2 is 4. To go from a 6 to an 8, I add 2 more, and etc. So 3 consecutive even numbers are going to be x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. And when I add them together, the sum is 156. So I have 3x plus 6 is equal to 156. Subtract 6 from both sides, you get 3x is equal to 150. And that gives you that x is equal to 50. Again, I can check this. We're talking about even numbers, so I'd have 52, 54, and 56. And when I add those together, I should get 156. I don't think I did that right. That's 162. Oh. No. I did do that right. I wrote down the wrong number. I wrote 52 instead of 50. So this should be 50, 52, and 54. And that makes all the difference in the world. So, okay. Now we have 3 consecutive odd numbers is 93. So odds would be like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. If the first one is x, to go from a 3 to a 5, I add 2. To go from a 5 to a 7, I add 2 more again. So even though we're talking about odd numbers, we're still adding 2 every time. So consecutive evens and consecutive odds will have the same setup. So I'll get 3x plus 6 is equal to 93. I will subtract 6 from both sides to get that 3x is equal to 90. Nope, sorry. 87. Divide by 3. And I get that x is equal to 29. And to check, some odd numbers now, so 29, 31, and 33. When I add those together, I get 93, so it checked out. And that's how you do consecutive even and consecutive odds and consecutives.